Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man. Today is live stream episode number 74, and the date is May the 10th, 2021. I hope you're all having a great start to your week, a nice Monday, enjoying spring, doing well, had a great weekend. And like I said, getting this week rolling off on the right foot. We try to end it best we can here on Monday evenings, getting together and having a good chat about things happening here in the mountains of Western North Carolina and beyond. So as you join the chat, let me know how you're doing, and hopefully everything's going well. I also want to give a warm welcome to all our returning folks that are here every single week. It's so nice to always see you guys, and also anyone who might be new to the channel. This live stream and all of them are archived on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel under the live stream playlist. Once again, a great Monday to you. Hope everybody's doing well and getting on here just a few minutes earlier than I did last week, which is good because last week we were breaking records in the wrong direction, starting, I think, about 10 o'clock. So I see some folks running in here and see who's here. We got Hope Faith first out of the gate. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, what's up? How are you doing today? Everything is great. I'm doing well. I can't complain. Life's as busy as ever, but again, I can't complain. Hope you're doing well, Faith. Thanks for joining us this evening. Foxy Wolf, my personal plans have been out of sync because I missed the Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream last week. We got the hammer here, Foxy. We'll get the flex going, and good to see you. I did wonder about you last week. Hold on. Starting out of the gate, I need something to drink here. Yeah, nobody has to be here from week to week, but there are a few of you like Foxy Wolf who tends to be here all the time. So it does raise a question sometimes just to make sure everybody's doing well, and hope you're doing well, and glad to see you here this week. It's nice to have you back. Adriana LaSure says, hello, Mr. Mountain Man, popping in. How was your weekend? Happy Monday evening. The weekend was great, and I should have led off also by wishing a belated happy Mother's Day to any mothers that are here and all the mothers that are out there, and to my mother and to my wife and to my sisters that have kids and everybody else. Happy Mother's Day. So it was a nice weekend as usual. You know, a lot of stuff going on Saturday, just trying to play catch up from the week. And then yesterday we celebrated Mother's Day. My wife wanted to go to Dollywood. So we headed over there and had quite a pleasant day. It was very nice. Larry is here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Happy Mountain Man Monday to you as well. Nice to have you here, Larry. And Larry, I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago when you had asked about the Camaro video. And I did see you noted because I left a note and had watched it. And it was super cool because you basically, it's like a bumblebee. You've got Bumblebee. That's what, yeah, it's like my best Optimus Prime. Bumblebee. You need to be here to help the people of planet Earth. Stay there. The humans are our friends. That's my best Optimus Prime. But that's an awesome yellow Camaro. It's very cool. Nice engine. That's really awesome. Everybody's saying howdy to each other. Let me make sure it jumps on me here. Who's next? Where we got it? Get my bearings straight. All right, Chad's here. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone. Been a while. Good to be on here tonight. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We spent it watching one of my daughter's soccer tourney. That's fantastic. Did you have to go like the whole weekend or just Saturday? I have a few friends that have, kids in either dance or soccer or lacrosse or, all kinds of things. And it's nice to be, have kind of a family affair and do stuff like that. We enjoy tennis. We like to play tennis. Nothing super serious, but we enjoy it because it's so easy. You don't need a whole lot of equipment and the whole family can get involved. So that's fantastic, Chad. Glad you had a great weekend. And it sounds like you did. And spending it with family, I'll tell you, spend time with family, no matter what form, is always a great time. I mean, Some people might argue that, but I think it's a great time. We got Big Daddy here. Hey, guys. And Big Daddy, you got a new dog in your avatar. A cool-looking dog. Looks a little bit like the dog we have. He has like a white face with black and brown up here. It's a beautiful dog. Great picture. I hope you're doing well. We got Kenneth Oakes here. Hello, everyone, to you as well. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice weekend. We've got Corgi Lover. Hello, everyone. Same to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Foxy Wolf says the crazy county dredged my ditches on my road and cut my phone lines and internet lines. Took several days to get back on the grid. Yeah, that happens around here in the mountains too sometimes. The old joke, the advertisements like call 411 before you dig or whatever. I think I joked the other week, or maybe I was telling somebody else, I can't remember. Like, I think the professionals think that's only for homeowners because they know everything. And then the professionals are the ones that are 9 times out of 10 cutting through the lines. A buddy of mine from work had somebody out doing like electrical work, and they cut through a gas line. And so then the gas company had to come out, and then the electrical guy had to pay for the gas line to get fixed. And I'm sure he probably didn't make as much money as he wanted to on that. So is that their disadvantage? And so, yeah. Glad you got it fixed. I know that's annoying. Hey, Rita, how you doing? Hello, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for the Mother's Day wish, Mr. Mountain Man. Yes. And hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day, you and all the mothers. And actually, I was talking to my grandmother today. My grandmother is 94, and she was having troubles with her computer, and she called me to ask a question. And but she used to live, I believe, kind of, we've talked about it before, Rita. She was an old hickory, not now, but back in the day. That's where she grew up. It is Bumblebee. Bumblebee is easy to do. He doesn't talk. Yeah, that was my Optimus Prime talking to Bumblebee. Bumblebee needs an upgrade. He needs a new radio. I love that movie, by the way. That was a really great movie. Watch that with the family too. I liked it so much. I like all the Transformers movies, actually. That was a good one. Thanks for the prayers for me and the family, my friends. We made it through the rough time with all 3 deaths. Yeah, just remember week after week, Hope, you had a lot of rough events going on, and so keep you in your prayers, absolutely. And sorry for your losses, and I don't know. Hopefully, being here with some nice folks brighten your day a little bit. Hey, Foxy, by the way, I think they fixed your internet so good that every message you send comes through twice. So the internet is like doubly good. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. And actually not every message. It's the last 2 I saw come through twice. Anyway, yes, I don't know that much about Kenneth Oakes, but I did hear that he was in school. And so I'm inferring from this that you are getting toward the end. So yes, congratulations on, anything related to that. That's fantastic. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. Here you go. Thumbs up from Mr. Mountain Man right here to all of you guys. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, we were all wondering if Foxy was okay. Just only because, Foxy, you never have to worry about being here every week, nor does anybody, Larry, anybody else. But there are a few folks that, like I would, if Rita wasn't here, Larry, Fox, a lot of you guys are all here every week. And it was, I mentioned this about, 2 months ago. I went back to the old live streams. A lot of folks have been here the whole time. And then there were a few folks that used to come to the live stream quite regularly early on, and I haven't seen them in forever. There's a dozen names of people that were coming weekly. But that's normal. No particular reason. People get different job shifts. People get, they just change tastes after a while too, and nobody wants to listen to always Mr. Mountain Man drone on every Monday. But even me, like I've told you, I go through stages of documentaries. Like right now, I'm really enjoying like roller coaster and theme park, documentaries. And, it could be cars, it could be boats, it could be planes, it could be travel, it could be Switzerland, who knows, Ireland, Europe, Disney, weightlifting, Steelers, who knows, all kinds of stuff that I go through. And then I get bored of stuff. I get bored and then I just stop, I don't watch a certain genre for a while, so that that could happen too. It's our dog Scout. She is a Treeing Walker Coonhound. Very neat. I am not familiar with like tons and tons of different varieties of dogs other than the mainstream. But that's pretty cool. I was ticked, much like a yard dog, living like Larry. Yes, from the internet. Hey, Mr. Mapman, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. You as well, Jennifer Rathbone. I think I have an article tonight in the news and notes from your general area over in the other part of Western North Carolina. When we get to that later. Yes, continued prayers for you, Hope. Big Daddy, my puppers that recently was stolen? Big Daddy, I'm sorry. Okay. Big Daddy, my puppers that recently was stolen look like a black and tan walker. That's a shame when dogs get stolen. That's just awful. I don't know why people would do that. That's crazy. Sorry about that, Foxy. That's rough. Talking about school, I'm so happy to be done with healthcare statistics. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'd be interested about healthcare statistics. That's interesting. So was it like data analysis of the healthcare industry and stuff along that lines? The thing these days is a lot of stuff about big data. I mean, everything is data. Data. I'm not talking about data in a bad way, but in a good way, because when data can be analyzed and processed, it can improve experiences for people. People don't realize that, I'm not talking about through surveys and stuff necessarily, but a business can take data from, it could even be McDonald's. How many people, are buying food at certain times? And this is even old fashioned, used to be tracked, but it can be done much more sophisticated now based on sales and, what are the peak times and how we have to adjust shifts and product inventory and, making sure that, we adjust the temperature at these time of the days. But it can be way more sophisticated than that in bigger industries. It could be car manufacturer sales. I mean, everything's about data. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome, Corgi Lover. Glad to hear. You make my week better, by the way. I can't wait for Monday to come. I get so excited to finally get a happy place again. That's fantastic. I hope that happens. There's a lot of great people here, Hope. And it's just nice to have you and the other fine folks here and just have a good chat to start off the week. As I always say, Monday is kind of like, just most folks that work, Monday through Friday. There's a lot of people that don't work those days, but whatever the Monday of somebody's week, that could be a Wednesday or whatever. It's always that first day of the work week. And it's not, it's just that kind of getting back into the grind. So it's nice to have, something on this day because, sure, I've said before, I think like last year, it would be much happier maybe on a Friday night, or a Saturday or something like that. But Monday is a fun night to do this. Let's see here. Oh, graduation day is tomorrow, 5 Eastern, graduating from Northeast State Community College, studying auto mechanics. Congratulations. That's awesome. That is really cool. So are you going, Kenneth Oaks, you're going in to any particular area within, using that education? That's interesting. I'm only, as I, said from my other channel, the Eclectic Candyman, kind of a weekend warrior, definitely no professional, not my area of expertise, just kind of learned. The only time I worked in anything related to officially in cars was when I was in high school. I worked at an import high performance place and did a lot of odds and end jobs, but I did pick up some mechanical know-how. I was never allowed to work on the cars or do anything, but the mechanics there were my friends, a few of them. And so there were things that I was learning how to do on my car, but basic stuff like brakes and other stuff. So, but that's fantastic. Nice job, Kenneth. That's really, really cool. Yeah. Woohoo! That's right. Congrats. Kentucky Girl, good evening, Mr. Mountain Man. I can't stay for long, but I wanted to pop in and say hello. Absolutely. I know also you've said there's shared time on the television at home. So, or whatever else is going on, but glad to have you here. It's very nice to have you here, Kentucky Girl. And all about the Smokies. Nice to have you here as well. Anybody, I think most people here probably know about the channel, but if you do enjoy travel and tourism, shopping and dining and what's happening, especially over there in East Tennessee, check out All About the Smokies. A plethora of content, doing a great job over there. So excellent stuff. A data analysis, birth rates, mortality rates, infection rates, etc. So many formulas. Yep, that's really cool. Did you get into any kind of data analysis software? Was it just like Excel and the study of it, or did you get into something more sophisticated like SQL Server or I don't even know. It's been eons since I've seen some of that stuff. Like Crystal was back in the day. I don't even know if they do. I don't even at the cloud or Azure and all kinds of stuff. I'm curious these days when that type of stuff is taught, what medium you use to study the data. That's cool. The weather has turned off cool. I actually had to turn my heat on low to knock up the chill. That's the truth. That front came through. So we went to Dollywood yesterday. It was kind of crazy because it got really, really windy later in the day. And as we're kind of walking out of the park, because a lot of the rides were closing because of the wind, a tree snapped and fell between the Wild Eagle and the Mine. What is it called? The Mine Chaser, the one right in front of it, like right between those two rides. It was like snap, crack, boom. It didn't fall on the tracks or hurt anybody, but it was loud. And the kids were like, whoa, look at that. I was just like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. But that front came through and it was warm, and it was a little bit warm today, but it's coming through. And then, the next few days are going to be mild for sure here in the mountains. But I went for a walk this evening and it was just delicious outside. Like, the hot weather is right around the corner and we won't get rid of it for several months. It was just, people pay for air fresheners of this stuff, like cool, crisp mountain air, your laundry detergent or whatever is like mountain breeze. Well, you get that for real here. So it's kind of cool. So I like that. Let's see. Hey, Faye made an appearance tonight. Nice to have you here, Faye. And I was seeing some cool pictures that Faye does in woodworking on, I think it was on Instagram or somewhere, probably Instagram. So if you like some woodworking and some projects, Faye, I think, gets into 3D printing and making pens, like pens that you write with. I saw a table you made, Faye, all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, I know you've put it in here before, but if you want to put your handle for either your YouTube channel or your Instagram, feel free to put it down there. And great to have you here. Faye, I was thinking about you the other day too, because I just got my second vaccine and woohoo, everything's great. Had a few hours of a little bit of chills and whatnot. And I remember you putting that post out there about that. So I think I had a similar journey, but I was back up 100% like 12 hours after, feeling a little bit off kilter. So great to have you here. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Okay. Talking to Foxy Wolf. Rita, it was 34 when I went to work this morning. It's supposed to be warm. It's May, 30s tonight. 2 years ago here in the mountains, we had record high temperatures late in May and almost like a drought. It didn't rain for like 3 weeks and it got into the 90s. And that was rough because in spring we needed some more rain to finish out the growth period. And it didn't, it just dried things up. It was way too hot. It was like even in the like low to mid 90s, which is crazy. So I know that's definitely cold up in Ohio. In fact, Larry, check this out. Yesterday, I looked and there was a little blurb on Facebook from Put-in Bay, Ohio. If anybody's not familiar with Put-in Bay, it is an island in Lake Erie, kind of north west of Sandusky, Ohio, where Cedar Point is. You take a ferry out there or a boat. It's only a stone's throw away from the Canadian border over the water. Anyway, they had a post that said, on Mother's Day, Mother Nature played a cruel joke, and there was a car driving on one of the roads on that island, and there was snow. It had been snowing, and it was, you know, Mother's Day weekend. So yeah, it's been chilly, I think, all over. But I did see later in the week it was going to be getting warmer again. Yes, Kenneth Oak, nice job. Rita, thank you for the sound and video. Means I did my homework tonight. Hey, we've got Shawnee here. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Shawnee or Sini? I apologize if I did not pronounce that right. But he said, I saw your Little Switzerland video, stayed at Alpine Inn for a night, and the sunrise over Table Rock Mountain was spectacular. Thanks. It is beautiful up there. Now that things have gotten a bit back to normal, I would love to go to Little Switzerland for a night this summer. And that is great feedback. I mean, that's a beautiful area up there. Not exactly the Matterhorn and the Alps, although they say the looks are supposed to be like the Swiss Alps, but just a beautiful little quaint town. Thank you for watching the video, and I'm glad you enjoyed it up there. Such a cool place. Yes. Congratulations. Chilly being outside this weekend feels like it's never going to warm up. And pardon me, I know this is when people, because I used to live down in Florida, get really annoyed with the cold weather. And then that's when they go the other side and they're like, I would be fine if it's 85 degrees plus the entire year. But I bet you Faye is not complaining about the warm weather, or if Hike with Mike or anybody else that's the Floridians of the group. Yes. Sorry, going to the next one. Yes, thanks for everyone. Can't stay long. Have to be up early for a fun dentist appointment. Yeah, I know that's not fun. I had a cleaning recently, and oh man, you're just sitting there and they're using the pick, you know, the water pick, and the noise and my dentist is gone back in time for some reason, because at least some of the ones I have been to put a TV up for distraction. I don't care what they put on TV channel. I don't even like, just something. But I'm staring at like the pattern on the ceiling, or staring at that light they have in your face, and just thinking, getting lost in your thoughts. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, I get it. Buffering. Uh-oh. Let me know if there was a problem. Kentucky Girl, Foxy Wolf, while your internet was out, put a new, about the old bridge. Did check out Kentucky Girl's video as well. Do you have an internet store, Faye? I don't know if she does. I don't know if Faye sells anything. That would be pretty cool. Sunshine Woodworking for both YouTube and Instagram. Faye, I don't know. Do you make stuff and sell stuff? That's pretty cool. You know what, Faye, you know what's popular these days is Etsy. Because that's like people sell like handmade jewelry or clothes or woodworking, I guess. I don't know. Might be kind of cool. I was at my daughter's on Saturday, and we were watching some of your video, and Little Switzerland was one of them. That's awesome. Yeah, Little Switzerland. That was such a fun day. It was such a beautiful that was July. That was in July in the mountains. It's sunny. It had rained a little bit. And it was just a lot of fun. You know, that video makes me crack up. I don't think most people see it. That's one of the videos that has a blooper on the end. When I knocked over that chair in the ice cream parlor, it was so loud because it fell on like a marble floor or whatever whatever kind of floor that was, a hard floor. And, but I would love to go back and actually go inside some of the places too. You know, I really just did a drive-by. I mean, the general store wasn't open. The restaurants were open, but at least people got to see the facade and architecture and stuff like that. Yeah, it took me 2 days. It was all good after that. Glad you did well. Yeah. You know, both of them had a little bit of a journey, but all done, and, all smiles for it. 2 inches of rain. I clicked on your comment, Larry, and like I clicked in the wrong spot. I got to be careful because it said like put user in timeout. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like if anybody can't talk, you check with Foxy or Larry or Rita or somebody. Might accidentally press the wrong button. 2 inches of rain yesterday to go along with the nice temps. Oh yeah, I did. I talked to my parents, and I had noticed because I had looked at Central Ohio, and yeah, it just looked like the pits. It was one of those like 30 or 40 degree days, maybe 50, and rainy, cold and rainy. Yeah, that's why in the summer, excuse me, not the summer, of all the months of the year, And I've mentioned this a few times. I love the change of seasons. And I have so come to appreciate, I think this month, May, is probably one of my favorite months of the year. It's just so nice in the mountains. And I don't mind the little bit of cooler temps. Everything is green, beautiful. All the leaves are back. Everything is blooming. Grass is back. It's just awesome. But one of the months that starts to grow long in the tooth for me for winter is kind of February and March. November, December, and January are fun. I'm in the winter spirit, for either between Christmas or even in January because of snow and playing in the snow. But about mid-February, in March are kind of like, remember that Instagram picture I posted with all the trees that had all the that were just brown, and it was a clear Carolina blue day. I wasn't saying that to Larry. It could have been to anybody, but yeah, it. I'm glad it's spring, and all that cold weather will be gone soon. They had Mardi Gras, and I don't remember what I was talking about for that one. Mardi Gras. Who had Mardi Gras? I'm sorry, Larry. I forget. I'm sorry. Did your daughter see the shout out video? Oh yeah, we're about Rita. Yes. Oh no, sorry. Put in Bay had Mardi Gras. Okay, cool. Thank you. Now I know. And it snowed some there where Larry was as well. That's crazy. Yes, the snow in Ohio. That is right. It would have been really cold up there this weekend at Put-in Bay. Hey, there's Mike. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure you're not getting any cold weather. If anything, it's probably. I remember when I lived in Florida, when those cold fronts would come down, they would stop right about South Georgia and push the heat below it. So Florida could be sweltering. And if you drove north on I-95, it was crazy because as soon as you cross the state line and would get into like Brunswick and going up towards Savannah, it could drop, 15, 20 plus degrees from, Central Florida. Be back. No problem. Absolutely. Nailed it, Shawnee. Okay, can't wait to go in July or August. Yeah, that is awesome. And just beautiful areas up here in Western North Carolina. There are so many places I want to go to and show you guys. It's just the time thing, but it'll happen. Patience and it'll happen. I will get some really cool videos out. Weather is nice here. That's in Florida. That is cool. Yeah, and Foxy, so those jet streams that dip and hit southern Georgia, you must be right below it too and get all that hot. I wonder if that has to do with the lack of rain that you get as well. That was funny when the chair fell over. That's in the Little Switzerland video. Yeah, there's been a few fun bloopers. The problem is I always put it after the end of the outro. Like the Myrtle Beach one had the lightning strikes. One of my favorite. Probably should have put it in the video. I slow motion. I had like 2 lightning strikes in the video. That was kind of fun. Like the Apple video and the bees one where the bees were flying around. That one, instead of doing it like a blooper, I just spliced it into the video. Yes, it's hot. It is hot in southern Georgia. Mama and me was up there yesterday in Ohio or in Western North Carolina. You have to let us know. Or one of the other places we were talking about. How's the freezer in the garage handling the heat? Yeah. Let us know. I work at the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. No one is ever excited to see us. The one thing I'll say about, people at the dentist is over the years, especially when I lived in Florida, we had a great dentist. The people were very friendly. They always were nice. And after you would go a bunch, I would go to the same one for years. They would know about the family and you'd have little, small talk conversations and stuff. And then you wouldn't see them for 6 months. But yeah, it's not the best, but I just wish that the dentists would put the TVs back. I thought that was cool. They'd be like, what channel you want? I don't care. The news, HGTV, I don't care. Put anything. I just want something. It wasn't that I had a problem. It's just I didn't want to just stare at like the little holes in the pattern in the ceiling. So are you studying to be a dentist? You have to let us know. Right now, building a CNC, taking a lot of my time. Building a CNC. I thought you bought a CNC machine. Can you build one? Are you like building? Oh, that's pretty awesome. Like you can actually buy the components to buy a CNC machine. That's pretty cool. Yes, the Put-in Bay. And I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting that they do it in May. I'm still dealing with it in issues. Repairman told me to unplug it and then plug it back in and try to get it reset. Checking the AM, call him again. It's not fixed. Oh, about the freezer. Yeah. Oh yeah, she thought it was cool. Rita's daughter about the shout out from Kentucky Girl. That's fantastic. I'm getting my second crown and 2 fillings. I never look forward to the dentist. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least your teeth will be all back in shape. That's cool. Please tell me about Mother's Day if you want to, and what's good in Western North Carolina, restaurants, things to do, etc. Well, Mother's Day, yeah, like I mentioned, we went to Dollywood yesterday. It was a great day because it was overcast and the temperature was mild. Didn't have to deal with sweating or anything like that. Rode on some rides. We went to Aunt Granny's again. For those of you that aren't familiar with the theme park, Aunt Granny's actually, I didn't realize had gotten an award from USA Today. If I'm not mistaken, one of the top 10 theme park restaurants. And that's saying something pretty significant because Disney World has some supremo out of this world dining through their theme parks. But Aunt Granny's is fantastic. They have moved from a buffet to family style eating. So it's like home cooking, like fried chicken, roast beef, chicken and dumplings, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that. So it's pretty good. People were nice and we got in there. You always have to wait about an hour and a half, but it's such a efficient system because you go there, you give them your name, you give them your phone number, and then they text you when you're ready. And then you just walk back. You just stay in proximity. And then it started to rain. It was kind of crazy. I should post this picture on Instagram. Dollywood was in this little channel between 2 red cells of rain, and you could see it on either side. And towards the end of the day, that, as I mentioned, the wind got really heavy and we got to the car just in time because literally just in time, 5 minutes after we left the parking lot, it was heavy, heavy rain because we got out of that little channel too. And then I know it was raining most of the day today in East Tennessee. What's good in Western North Carolina? There's a never ending. You start in Asheville and it just depends on what you want to do. Up and down, you've got the Blue Ridge Parkway. You do have Great Smoky Mountains National Park here in Western North Carolina. There are infinite amount of, one of the things that Western North Carolina has, and this is one of the things I want to highlight, there's a lot of small towns that have a lot of local eateries. They have microbreweries and eateries and bookstores and boutique shopping and, a lot of neat things to do like that. Of course, outdoor, you have hiking and kayaking. You can, do these things. You can do on the rivers. You can go see waterfalls. You can go up to Mount Mitchell and do sightseeing. You can, downtown Asheville has culture and arts. You have the Biltmore, you have Chimney Rock. There's just a ton of stuff to do here. And so, yeah, lots to do. Lots of good restaurants. Your best place for restaurants are either those one-offs in the smaller towns or in Asheville proper. Lots and lots to do and eat. Let's see. Oh, you're going to the Pigeon Forge area. Yes. Of course, over there, there's an infinite amount of stuff to do. And there's something for everybody. Every single thing from every chain you can think of to local places to entertainment. Pigeon Forge is, as I've said 100 times, is like the Myrtle Beach of the mountains. It's very similar. Corky Lover says doing health information management. Okay. That's fantastic. And yes, definitely in demand for sure. Printed the parts on my 3D printer and buying all the other parts like linear rod screws, and we'll be using an Arduino controller. Did I pronounce that right? Arduino controller. That's pretty cool. That is really awesome. Speaking of YouTube, it's too bad you're not doing like a time lapse or breaking that up into like a 5-part video on the building of your CNC machine. That's really awesome. My favorite restaurants are mom and pop hole in the wall type places. Yeah. So that's what I was talking about. There are a lot of those here in Western North Carolina and even in Asheville. So there's really something for everybody. And then people that like ethnic food from around the world, there's a lot of great cultural taste here as well. So just a lot of good stuff. And it's fun. One of the things I did like is, when I did a lot more riding on the motorcycle was finding those little hole in the wall type places too. Make sure that you hammer the thumbs up before you leave and go to bed tonight. Thanks a bunch. We appreciate that here on the Mr. Mountain channel. If you do like it, that spreads the word via the YouTube machines and the data analysis at YouTube to say somebody thinks Mr. Mountain Man's worth watching. So because they said they liked it. Yes, look for too as well. Asheville has the best places to eat. You won't go disappointed here. I mean, really everything, barbecue and fine dining and hole in the wall dining and Southern dining and just everything. Kentucky Girl, good night. You have to run. Absolutely. Hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you for stopping by. The best barbecue places are always the hole in the wall ones. That's the truth. When I lived in Charlotte many, many moons ago and would ride the motorcycle, typically west out of town, or down through South Carolina or just kind of that way, we would always find like little hole in the wall barbecue places. And that was always a lot of fun. Mellow mushroom pizza. It's so funny. I've told this story before. The very first place I ever went to in Asheville 20 years ago was Mellow Mushroom downtown. And I have not gone back to that location, but it is still there. Need to check it out for sure. Of course, they have more than that. And then if you're over in East Tennessee, they have Mellow Mushroom. It's a chain, but it's still really cool. Yes. So, hey, let's get into the news and notes. No, housekeeping. How about housekeeping? Let's clean house first. What kind of housekeeping do we have? Let me turn this off. Let's go over and see if I actually did anything this week as far as some pictures. Do I have any pictures? Let's see. Close this and go here. And oh, yeah. Boy, I really stunk it up this week. Didn't do much. Last week, for those that weren't here, I had an article about the Great Smoky Mountains Firefly Viewing Lottery. And the application period was between April 30th and May 3rd. Well, last Mountain Man Monday was on May 3rd. Make sure this is showing. And yes. And so right after the live stream ended, I think it was like 11:15 Eastern. I said, well, let me go over there. And I paid the $1 to put my name in the lottery. And a few folks here, including Dale Bush. And I'm not sure about Hikerman, but that's cool. That looks like a maybe spam. Follow this person. But anyway, I got an email the other day. Nope. I didn't get in. I figured I'll be quite honest. I really thought that they're like, a lot of these type things. I was like, it's probably, it's popular, but they had like 800 slots per day or something. One of the problems might have been that you got 2 choices of days. And of course I picked Saturday and Sunday because we couldn't get over there at night, like on a weeknight with the school and everything like that. So I probably picked some of the most popular days. Had I picked a weekday, it might've gone through, but they told me I didn't get it. So yeah, no firefly for me, although we still see a lot of fireflies here in the mountains. Yeah, it would have been kind of cool. But yep, no fireflies for Mr. Mountain Man this year over in the Great Smoky Mountains. And then there's just a couple pictures from Dollywood. This is at the entrance right before you go into ticketing, right before you show your tickets. I used a portrait mode, so that's why it's fuzzy in the background, and there's some beautiful flowers there. And there's all the, you've probably seen this if you've watched any videos, which, by the way, I think I am the only person, maybe because I lived so long in Florida and was a Disney fanatic, and also now had a heavy experience at Dollywood. And I love Dollywood. Dollywood is like even better than I liked. And I always thought very highly of Dolly Parton herself. Kind of a humanitarian, does a lot of great things for people, especially in Sevier County, the kids with books and a whole bunch of stuff. But Dollywood is a fantastic park, bigger than I thought. But it is interesting, the IP, the intellectual property that they kind of just without shame rip off of Disney World. For example, they have right now, it's called the, what is this? What is it called? The, let's see. I want to get it right so I don't mix them up. They call it the Flower and Food Festival. Okay. And it starts in the spring, and they have topiaries and like crafted animals made out of flowers and plants. Well, the Epcot has they they have the Flower and Garden Festival. And this is straight, what you're seeing at Dollywood is straight from the from Epcot. And then the Epcot has the what's called the International Food and Wine Festival, where they have foods from all over the world because they already have World Showcase. Well, Dollywood, they have the they have something also called the International Festival, where they have all the flags and all the countries, and they also have all the different food. Then there are certain rides, like instead of so you have Dumbo at the Magic Kingdom, they have the pigs at Dollywood. Magic Kingdom has the what's it called? The there's a ride. I'm drawing a blank. Splash Mountain. They have Splash Mountain at Dollywood. They have what is it called? Daredevil Falls. Daredevil Falls and Splash Mountain are the exact same ride, basically. You're like in a log going down and then splashing. There is so, and actually the list goes on and on, but it's like without shame. And all this stuff came after Disney World. It's literally like they just take the ideas, they change a couple of words, and they do the exact same thing. And I'm kind of in awe because I'm like, I'm surprised that Walt Disney World doesn't have an issue with that. But I guess, you know, you don't have like a patent on a festival. So if you just change it a little bit, it's no big deal. But it's kind of surprising. I'll be honest with you. I believe in Dollywood so much that I don't think that they actually need to do that. I don't think that I mean, why not copy the best? And that would be Walt Disney World. So in that aspect, I think it's smart. But on the same token, there's so much creative, unique and genuine intellectual property that exists with what could be Dollywood in the mountains and the South and its own abilities, that it doesn't really, I think it could stand on two legs without having to really do, you know, slightly modified versions of successful events and rides at Walt Disney World. That's just my opinion. Dollywood does so many things well on its own. Like it's got all those roller coasters, and Disney World's a lot less about that, and a lot of the rides and the theming. So anyway, something to ponder over. But Rita says, I guess it's for the people who can't afford to go to Disney. So it's an interesting take because Disney's expensive, but I still don't think that they need to copy Disney because, again, I believe so much in the creativity behind Dolly Parton and staff and team and kind of R&D or research and design that they could be totally creative from scratch. Even it's kind of funny because even Wildwood Grove with the fairies has a heavy flavor. Now, Dolly likes the butterfly, so butterflies are definitely something unique. And that's where a lot of Wildwood Grove, but it also has a real heavy flavor of like Tinkerbell, which is a big intellectual property from Disney World. So the fairies at the park are very similar to the fairies that you would see from Tinkerbell. Of course, there aren't entire lands that are themed. So that one isn't really such a direct pull. I would actually give a point to Dollywood for Wildwood Grove being unique in its own way, and actually has almost like the music they play in the background is kind of Celtic music. And so it's pretty cool. Faye's heading to bed. Good night. Okay, absolutely. And don't worry, I won't miss any of these comments that people had up here. I just was staying on point with this, which was not a news article, just spawned a little bit of conversation here. And I'm going to stay with this for a second because if I miss any comments, somebody can repost it. On the previous one, I went back and looked up the It's video about fireflies, but you couldn't see many in the video. Yeah. And you're right, Rita, because at night, like when you see things with the eye, like even the pink or the blood moon or whatever we had recently in the sky, with the naked eye, it was like beautiful, but with cameras and video, it didn't do it justice. Larry says, in similar note, everyone always rips off Cedar Point. Cedar Point will have the first type of coasters, the biggest or faster, and 2 years later, someone has the same but 5 foot taller or something like that. Yeah, and Cedar Point is definitely kind of is the Disney World of theme parks for mega and extreme roller coasters. All the manufacturers like B&M or Aero, Vekoma, and all those, they're going to use Cedar Point as the testing ground in a positive way to come out with the best of the best. And then they're going to market variations of those roller coasters in other parks. It's funny that you say about Dollywood copying Disney. My wife and I were just saying the same thing. I guess if you're going to copy someone, might as well copy Disney. Yeah, Big Daddy. That's what I was saying. That was kind of like, on one sense, it is smart. Like, right, if you're going to copy somebody, just pick the best and copy. Better to pick the best than somebody that's not the best. But again, I go back to my point that I think Dollywood is a fantastic park. Like the shows, and the Southern theme and the mine theme and kind of like the old Western theme and stuff like that. There's a lot of unique intellectual property there. And again, I would even give a point to Wildwood Grove being unique over Disney, even though it had the some of Tinkerbell, but I don't think that, because there's no Tinkerbell land, I don't think it really has that. So, but yeah, the festivals are almost identical. It's almost like, without shame, that they're identical. Somebody else was heading out. Chad was heading out. Good night, Mr. Mountain, everyone. Have a great week. You as well. Thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And again, I hope you have a wonderful week. Let me see if there were any other comments there about that. Okay, so that great little discussion there on that. It's just interesting about that. Let's see. Oops, what's next? I had another picture in here. I thought, did I only have 2? Okay, only 2. All right. That was it. That's it. All I had from Instagram. Yeah, that's all. I don't really have anything else on the housekeeping front this week. Except for, I keep telling you all the same thing. I can't emphasize enough how absolutely jam-packed busy it has been. I mean, I'm talking about, like, it's just been the last 6 or 7 months have been beyond busy, like I not experienced in some time. It's just been nuts. A lot of one-off unique things, like things breaking or stuff around the house, or family things, work things, other things. It's like go. And I've had a hard time playing catch up. The weekends I'm always so far behind with something that absolutely needs my attention that it hasn't left a ton for leisure. But you might say, well, you went to Dollywood. You're right. I went to Dollywood with the family for Mother's Day. I have some fantastic ideas about some things I want to film eventually when I do Dollywood. And so that'll come in due time. That definitely will come. Excited about that. That'll happen. Yeah, and always good food looking on the grill. That was actually from a week ago, since we weren't here yesterday. That was the burgers, and they tasted really good. Can you stay a little longer? We haven't done study yet. Waiting for Dad to get back. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just getting into the news and notes right now, so that'll be the segue into the next. Oh, let me see if I missed any other comments. I think I missed 1 or 2 up here. Larry had mentioned Mad Dog got out for a public performance over the week, first time since COVID. Mad Dog is out Put-in Bay. Put-in Bay, I mean, that's one, Larry, I'll be really envious if you get up there and do some videos, because that is a fantastic place. Somebody could have a YouTube channel just covering Put-in Bay in the time that it's open, because there's just so many cool places up there. And he, of course, goes down to Florida. So that's really cool. I'll have to tell my dad about that too. That's really cool. Make sure I didn't miss anything else. Oh, Foxy Wolf kindly put the Mr. Mountain Man handle for Instagram. And I think, the Eclectic Handyman, that's my other YouTube channel, which does have some videos. I have gotten some extremely nice compliments on that channel recently. Of course, it's always nice to help people out, but the one about the gas valve or something, somebody's like, you know what, if teachers were all like you, we would be really smart. And I was like, wow, that's super nice of somebody to say something like that. I did have one video. There's a couple times I'll have a couple videos that are people like, this video stinks, but you got to deal with the bad with the good. What did it say yesterday? There was a quote from Dolly at Dollywood. It said, you can't have the rainbow without the rain, or something like that. Basically it's, nothing's ever perfect. Let's see. Did I catch up? No more excuse. We want videos. Just kidding. We are willing to wait. You are not wrong, Rita. And trust me, it's not like, and I know you guys know, and you're poking fun at me, but it's definitely not like it's the weekend and I'm kicking my feet up and I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like doing one. Like if I had a day like that, it'd already be done. And so I'm sorry. No excuses. There really aren't. I mean, other than being just absolutely slam packed busy. But I told my wife the other day, I'm like, I've got to find some time to make a Mr. Mountain Man video. And trust me, it's not a lack of ideas. I have this list that I keep. There are 30 videos on there I want to do. So don't you worry. There's plenty of cool and awesome ideas. I just got to get it going. All right. So what do we got next? Let's get into the news and notes of the week for May the 10th, 2021. Go ahead and share that and let's get it going. Let's see what we got this week to find out from here in the mountains and beyond. I was wondering if somebody might talk about this before I mentioned it today. Kind of the current news of what's going on. My wife called me today and said, it looks like we're back in Florida and there's a hurricane. The gas station lines are like, super long and they're out of gas everywhere. What's going on? She called me because she was out. And I was like, well, they had the ransomware pipeline, attack over the weekend, but I wasn't aware of anything specific. So I had to look it up. And sure enough, there was an article that there is a gas shortage. Governor Cooper declared a state of emergency. North Carolina halts vehicle regulations. Now, before that title right there sounds dire, but as I read some of the high points of the article, it's not, the state of emergency is kind of a means to an end to like reduce restrictions for the vehicle regulations. And I believe that's a lot for like commercial industry to just like loosen up so that it makes it easier. So it's the way it reads is like, oh my gosh, I got to go fill 15 gas cans and we're going to, it's not like that. But of course, you're not going to get people to read unless you have kind of a dun 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 type title. So, it sounds really, dire. And take a note out of the playbook from a year ago with toilet paper. Welcome to the world of social media and how quickly panic can ensue, whether it's legitimate or not. I mean, a couple of stores ran out of toilet paper last year, and all of a sudden, toilet paper was the cure for coronavirus, apparently, because everybody went out and bought 50,000 rolls of toilet paper. What a random object to have, by the way. It didn't run out of vitamins or water or something useful. It was to wipe your rear end. I don't know. So what the deal with toilet paper was. But with the gas, it just takes a few people to start something on Facebook, and then it becomes like wildfire. But nonetheless, it is slightly legitimate. There's some legitimate news here. I'll read you the high points. In the light of a recent cybersecurity attack that temporarily shut down one of the largest pipelines in the U.S., Governor Roy Cooper on Monday signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency in North Carolina. The order also temporarily suspends motor vehicle regulations to ensure adequate fuel supplies throughout the state. On Saturday, the Colonial Pipeline System reported a ransomware cyber attack, resulting in temporary shutdown of the line. The pipeline is a primary fuel pipeline for North Carolina. Today's emergency declaration will help North Carolina prepare for any potential motor vehicle fuel supply interruptions across the state and ensure motorists are able to have access to fuel. Note that, that's important, to let people have fuel. The impact's already being seen locally with some gas stations already out of fuel and others limiting the amounts drivers can purchase. Analysts at Gas Buddy say it will take days for normal conditions to return even after the pipeline is back on. Still, experts are advising motorists not to panic, purchase, or hoard fuel as that will prolong any outages and spikes, making the situation worse. Motorists are asked to only purchase what fuel is immediately needed and avoid filling your tank until the pipeline resumes operations. So yeah, it's it'll be a blip on the radar, and they'll get it worked out, and things will happen. Also, as evidenced by, I know what happened in Florida. A lot of times the local refineries still have their supply to fill trucks, for that. So it just depends on how people behave. I think that was a big part of the article. If everybody just goes up and fills up every single thing, including the boat and the RV and all that stuff, it will, it'll make the situation worse. I always remember in Florida, because that was kind of a legitimate situation. If a bad hurricane came through, everybody filled up, and then all of a sudden afterwards you had plenty of gas for weeks because every car was filled up and all your gas cans and stuff like that. So it seems like something to be aware of. But and let's see. I heard there was a panic in South Georgia over the gas. And again, it's the age of social media. You get a couple people on there that post, "Oh my gosh, gas went up 20 cents and there's a line." And then somebody's like, "Well, let me get my car keys and go out to the gas station." And then another person does not. It's just a domino effect. I didn't know there was any issue anywhere with gas. Yeah. And again, I had seen this. I was at the gym on Saturday and I was kind of looking up at the TVs watching this. It was kind of, I don't want to say humorous. I heard this morning on the news, the people responsible for the attack are like some underground organization. And they sent this, I'm only paraphrasing because I don't remember. If any of you saw it, they sent this response saying, "We didn't want to cause any social unrest. We were just testing the systems that our clients paid us for." Basically, I think looking for vulnerabilities. We are not wanting any kind of political, we don't align with anything politically. We even have a help desk for our clients, that have issues. So the news reporters were joking about it. They're like, I guess we just need to call the help desk and, have them solve the issue. It was almost, they said it was almost written like an apology letter, but it's kind of weird. It was kind of weird, the response from it. It was kind of like, yeah, somebody paid us to do this and we did it, but we didn't want to cause any harm. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Prices are rising fast. I fear it'll be $5 a gallon by summer. I'm not sure if this pipeline thing will do that because they'll resume operation. This isn't like, thank goodness, this isn't like a war, overseas or some true impact on the actual like global supply. This is a domestic local issue through a supply line, not the manufacturing of gas, not the refinement of gas or anything like that. So I think, in due time, it'll be just back to normal. And so, this will hopefully iron itself out. Such a far cry from a year ago when the crude oil was like, $20 a barrel or something like that. It has risen quite a bit. You remember when we were getting gas during the pandemic for like $1.15 a gallon or something like that? That was crazy. Foreign countries hacked into the system. We're going to have the gas shortage. It was crazy out in Waynesville, long lines and lots of places running out of gas. People love to panic. That's what I told my wife. I'm like, it's just the toilet paper scenario played out again. A little different, but because there's some, something legitimate to the gas, but people will compound the issue if they start filling up stuff that's not needed. And of course, all the gas stations and stuff, speaking of data and analysis, they expect a certain number of people to fill up every day. Not like that picture of the BP station there with, looks like the oil embargo of the 70s. Are your kids having to wear a mask in school? They still do wear masks in school. The school year is almost over and will continue to do so. But they haven't let up on that yet. We'll have to see how it is post summertime. Not too concerned about the prices. They're no different now than they were 2 or 3 years ago at this time of year around anyways. Yeah. Crude oil, actually, if you look at the price of barrel oil today, being kind of a global thing, it didn't change that much. It's still in the 60s. I think, and crude oil, that is. Brent wasn't changed. I don't know, but again, this was a delivery issue, not the actual fuel itself. Adriana Lashore says, see you next Monday, Mr. Mountain. Be good now. Absolutely. Be nice if they would have stayed down like last year. Yeah, I know. It just, when the demand for oil went down, when all the cruises stopped and all the airplanes stopped and everything went down, there was no demand. And so the supply went up and the price went down. This is the economics of that. And that was, so we benefited from, thankfully, when that happened, cheaper gas, but can't say thankfully anything about the pandemic, but just during that time period, gas was cheaper. 265 here. Yeah. And it's about the same here, Rita. It's 265 to 289. Mountains tend to be a little more expensive because of the tourism here. Yeah, so it did jump up. I think my wife paid 274 here today. 278 up in Ohio, but about 360 for my car. Yeah. I too use the so we have a gas station down here. One of probably many, but it's called the QP. And not the QT, but like the truck station, but a QP. And they sell 93 octane, 100% fuel, 0 ethanol. And so I do use that in my Cobra because that 0% ethanol. Is it a little more expensive? Yeah, it's like $3.50, $3.60 a gallon. But, I'm not driving. I do drive it as a daily, but only to go to the gym and stuff like that and whatnot. So I don't put, the miles aren't that bad. So it's okay. I don't mind. So yeah, that was that. All right, next up on the lighter side of thing, speaking of nice things to do, and Adriana just left. She was asking about stuff in Asheville. Top 8 sunset spots in Asheville, North Carolina. So this is awesome. These are only 2 pictures, but I didn't realize, well, I should have, but the incredible places. Like that picture on the right, those 2 folks there are standing on one of the many hotel terraces in downtown Asheville. Just absolutely gorgeous. Let me read you some stuff here. The Blue Ridge Mountains offer some of the best vantage points to watch the sun drop below the peaks in a splash of color. People travel from all over the world to see the nightly show. Yeah, you don't need any fireworks. You just, come here to Asheville and see the sunset over the mountains, so it's pretty cool. We asked our social media fans to share their favorite places to watch a sunset in and around Asheville, North Carolina. Here are the results. At number, let's go backwards. Number 8, anywhere in Asheville. So they're catching everything, like just basically anywhere in Asheville that you can get a vantage out west is a beautiful place to watch the sunset. Number 7, the Montford Rooftop Bar. The Montford is a relatively new rooftop bar located on the 8th floor of the Hyatt Place Hotel in downtown Asheville. The views are special, and so are the seasonally driven craft cocktails and small bites prepared with local ingredients. Number 6, Max Patch. This grassy bald is definitely a favorite with true 360-degree views of the Smoky Mountains and an intersection with the Appalachian Trail. For a sunset to remember, get there early and bring a picnic and a blanket. Sounds like somewhere. I did look up the map. Max Patch is northwest of Asheville. I think about an hour. I think. Yeah. If I saw it correctly. Craggy Gardens. Number 5 is Craggy Gardens. While Craggy Gardens is located on the Blue Ridge Parkway, which it holds such a special place in our fans' hearts that it deserves its own mention. For stunning views, hike to Craggy Pinnacle, just 0.7 of a mile to reach the upper overlook. You'll look out over layers of mountain ridges and be able to see the Blue Ridge Parkway winding through the mountains below you. In June, Craggy Gardens truly comes alive with the purple blooms of the Catawba rhododendron. That's awesome. Now, we're inside the top 5. Number 4, Capella on 9. One of Asheville's newest rooftop bars has already earned one of the biggest accolades. U.S. News and World Report has named Capella on 9 one of the 50 best rooftop bars in the world. From this swanky bar on the 9th floor terrace of the AC Hotel, enjoy handcrafted cocktails and tapas-style menus showcasing locally sourced ingredients. People are asking about, listen, there's something for everyone. Sometimes people just want a simple meal or something simple, but sometimes people want to, get a little dressed up and go out on, on the town. It may not be, a tux and suit type night, but it might be, khakis and a polo, and you're going out with the family or the wife or the girlfriend or the friends or whatever. There are definitely a lot of places like that in Asheville. So a lot of nice places if you want to go out and hang out. Number 3, just overall, the Blue Ridge Parkway. So many overlooks. I will say that it just depends on what part, because a lot of the views of the Blue Ridge Parkway heading out, heading northeast out of Asheville towards Mount Mitchell and Little Switzerland, a lot of those vistas are off to the east, with the exception of like Craggy Gardens, which is a very popular one that looks out west. When you leave Asheville and you head southwest towards Mount Pisgah and Great Smoky Mountains, you do have some off to the west as well, like Cold Mountain and such. So there's a lot on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Number 2, the Biltmore. Of course, Biltmore is going to make every list about everything in Asheville for sure. And I just saw out of my corner of my eye, Corgi Lover was headed out. Good night, everyone. Have to get up at 5. Go Blue. No, go Buckeyes. OHIO. So anyway, have a wonderful week, Corgi Lover. Thanks for stopping by. So the Biltmore is definitely a good one. Of course, the Biltmore, you do have to have either an annual pass or a ticket to get over there. And the number one place in Asheville is the Omni Grove Park, in another historic place. The most popular spot to watch a sunset, according to fans, is the Sunset Terrace at the Omni Grove Park Inn. The aptly named Sunset Terrace is famous for its dazzling views of downtown and the mountains, as well as for its chop house cuisine. So they also had a couple of honorable mentions: Pillar Rooftop Bar, located atop the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Asheville, Mount Mitchell State Park, and Black Balsam Knob. Really cool stuff. I know people ask about this. This was from exploreasheville.com. Let's see here. Catching up. The pic on the right looks like the Montford. So that picture was that was either that might have been the Montford. That might have, yeah. The other rooftop bar was Capella 9, but I do believe you're right, Big Daddy, that may have been Montford. And I saw you said it's in the Hotel Indigo. Actually, it says here that the Montford is a new rooftop bar located on the 8th floor of the Hyatt Place Hotel in downtown Asheville. But I'm not 100% sure. The drinks there are really expensive. Yeah, you get to some of these places and, I mean, it's, they're charging for the atmosphere. You're not paying for the ticket to see the sunset. You're just paying indirectly. It definitely is a beautiful sky. I mean, some of the stuff you see around here is just gorgeous. Certainly are beautiful pictures. Very pretty. Foxy Wolf says, I love Craggy Gardens. That place is so unique. Foxy, I either give you credit or Rita or somebody, one of you guys told me to go up there. I've passed by it several times on the way up to Mount Mitchell, but I have not done a stop there to look into it. I actually have a beautiful sunset out my kitchen window each evening. That is awesome too, to be able to see that. From one side of our house, we look out west. It just depends on what time of the year, because we have a bunch of trees. So it's weird. The sun will blast us in the winter when the trees don't have leaves. And in the winter, in the summer, when those leaves get covered, you get, a different vantage point, and you don't see that. Oh, and I see where Larry was saying OHIO. Yeah. Yeah. The IO there. That's right. I'm going to get down there for a long weekend this year. Take a break from Gatlinburg with how crowded it's been. Yeah. And, Larry is on point, and I've talked about that a lot. I really advocate for over here in Western North Carolina. And again, I want to come out of the gate strong with a bunch of the places to show that are really neat. But, I talk about this a lot, but I do repeat myself purposely because I think it's worth mentioning. It's just a different type of thing. It's like somebody asking, do you like the beach or the mountains? A lot of people might say both. Do you like, hamburgers or hot dogs? Both. Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg have one style of entertainment, dining, shopping, and vacationing, and they go without saying. They're ranked high. They're wildly popular, and there's just a never-ending amount of stuff to do. But that sometimes that's not what that's not, with that comes long lines, traffic, congestion, full hotels, people everywhere, and that can take away from the vacation experience if that type of stuff can get on your nerves, like walking around downtown Gatlinburg shoulder to shoulder. And I'm not even talking about the pandemic. I'm just talking about in general being that, packed, and then your belly starts grumbling because you're hungry and you're walking around downtown Gatlinburg, and unless you want street food, every restaurant has, a 45-minute to an hour wait, or there aren't that many options. So you say, well, let's hop in our car and go to Pigeon Forge because there's 5,000 restaurants. So you hop in your car, but you get stuck in traffic trying to get out of Gatlinburg, and it takes you an hour and 15 minutes in July to get over to Pigeon Forge. And then you show up at your favorite restaurant and they have a 45-minute wait. So, if you don't plan ahead over there and know what you're doing, you just, it's just comes with the territory of being so popular. So if you come over here to Western North Carolina, there's just so much to do. And it's not all like, oh, I'm going to go to the park and ride my bicycle kind of stuff. Like, well, that's boring and not entertainment. There's a lot of stuff to do, paid activities, culture, dining, beautiful places to stay. And of course, there is all the outdoor stuff, but it depends if it's the winter or the summer. I mean, you can go up to Beach Mountain, you can go skiing, in the summer. They have other stuff, golfing and, and of course you can cherry pick out everywhere. You could find, putt-putt and go-karts and movie theaters and, Tweetsie Railroad and over in Bryson City, the railroad. There's just a lot of stuff to do. Go down to Charlotte, even, which is a stone's throw. You could go to professional sports game and college games, and, it just goes on and on and on. So I definitely know the sentiment that Larry's talking about. It's a different type of entertainment. One, to me, that smells of fresh air and being able to have a little elbow room is more reminiscent of Western North Carolina. Hey, Loggy Doggy. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Everyone been watching and listening since I've been home from work, eat and shower in bed and work. But I'm blessed. Be safe night. Hope to catch you all next week. Thank you, Loggy Doggy. Sorry I missed your comment probably before you headed out. I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you for being here and stopping by. You're right. I think the Hotel Indigo is next to the Hyatt. Yeah, they're all kind of down there, and some beautiful area down there to hang out. Yeah, everybody's saying, hello, Loggy Doggy. I'm more of a fan of Western North Carolina than Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, but we don't have kids. WNC is very underrated. It's so true. And even if somebody does have kids, as we do, a lot of the places we go, we still absolutely enjoy, even if they're a slower pace. For example, look at my video from Chimney Rock and Chimney Rock Village. All right. So we would take the kids over there, go for a hike, which is great. We're talking, we're walking, we're seeing things. They're throwing rocks and we're seeing waterfalls and we're talking and seeing neat trees and bugs and all kinds of stuff. Then we can go into the town, buy some souvenirs, a lot of shops reminiscent of like the Gatlinburg type stuff. Even in that town, they have like little rides and stuff we've never done. And then we headed over to Lake Lure and had ice cream. And so, and then if it was the summer, Lake Lure has the lake there that you can go to, which is like a beach. And so there's a lot of really cool stuff. So the whole kid factor, that, it seems like all that stuff, but I will also tell you as a parent, the expense of Pigeon Forge can get quite lofty. Like, it's one thing if it's just a couple of buddies or, a husband and wife or whatever, a couple of people going over and just paying for two every time, but when you have a big family and you got to go pay for a dinner show, it's like $350. Or, a few couple $100, $300. Or you go to Dollywood and you don't have season tickets, you're going to pay $500 or $600, between the food and the tickets. If you go putt-putt, when we went putt-putting and didn't have season passes, it was somewhere between like $40 and $60 or something like that for a round of putt-putt. So it gets really expensive. So when you're driving down there and you see all that stuff, it looks cool. It's not cheap. We went one year for our anniversary and I said, that's fine. We're going to do it differently. This was our 15th wedding anniversary. We went that year and I said, budget's not going to be, I mean, we weren't going out buying diamond rings or anything crazy, but we did. I said, budget, we're going to put budget by the wayside for the most part. We're going to really enjoy. And yeah, it was thousands of dollars. I mean, we were every day we would go out, like, meals were $100 and, the entertainment was, multi-$100, and we go putt-putt and we'd go to Ripley's and we would just buy the ticket, $70, go to Ripley's or whatever. It was expensive. So, yeah. So, yeah, totally agree with that. And Hope is back here. Yes. We really like when we drove over there for a day, Big Daddy, just as beautiful or more than East Tennessee. Yes. Lots to see here. And you can always get your fill of Western North Carolina here on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. You will see those beautiful views and the crisp air and the Mount Mitchell pine that has no smell, although it's amazingly that the needles are still there. Did you miss anything? Just talking about the news and notes and some pictures and a little bit about Dollywood and some other stuff. Of course, you're always welcome to catch up after the fact too. That's the great thing, having these things. Hey, Sexy Matt, Mr. Mountain Man, just checking in. Trying out cellular internet here as a temporary solution. Are you down in Florida now? I think at one point you said you were. Maybe that's what the palm tree is. And nice to have you here. Yes, discussing sunsets in Asheville. Thank you, Foxy. The news about the gas, and we are now on the sunsets. That is right. Have you ever eaten at Sagebrush Steakhouse in North Carolina? I have not, but where did I see one? I saw one. I want to say there was one. I might be mistaken. Is there one over in Canton? Off the interstate? Waynesville. Yes, there is. There is one in Canton. Yep. There. I was right. I think it's the one right off the interstate. I have not been there. Oh no, it says permanently closed. Is that the one I was thinking about? Yep. Sure was. Yep. It was right off the Canton exit, and it says it's permanently closed. So no, I have not eaten there. But yes, I've heard it is good. I will definitely have to check that out. Hey, Dr. J, I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. A nice Monday. Good to see you. We were having some good conversations about Dollywood earlier and some other stuff. So thinking about you, we were talking a little bit about East Tennessee, but we were all reminiscing how much we like Western North Carolina too. Over here. Hope has eaten there and it says it's delicious. I'll tell you what, in my book, it's hard to have a bad steak. I know they make them, but most places do a pretty good job. We love Western North Carolina. So much to do there and not nearly as crowded. We try to get to Asheville area at least twice a year. Yeah, the only time of the year that's a little tough here, and it's not even crowds, it's just they jack up the prices, is leaf peeping season. That means October. So, I'll just say, for example, a Hampton or a Holiday Inn that might normally be like 125, maybe 150 a night, maybe, probably closer to 125. All of a sudden it'll be like 300 or 350 a night. They might not even have a view of trees, just to be in proximity of Asheville of a hotel. So that can be a little bit expensive. Foxy, Matt passed through the town on I-75, town by Lowe's. About to Foxy, he said, did you wave? Is it turning blue? Man, I'm always so bad because I don't connect the dots on some of the comments. I forget. You have to let me know, Larry. Sorry. Maybe I missed a comment in between there. You are in Florida. Horse country here in Marion County. Oh, okay. And Rita says for the Sagebrush, one in Waynesville and Boone. Yeah, when I did a quick search, I did see the one in Waynesville, and not in Boone, though. Lots of ponies, big time money ponies. Oh, that's cool. Yes, there is money here, Foxy, and the weather has been great so far. The pine needles turning blue. I love the pine needles. We use pine needles for mulch in our yard. I much prefer it over like bark mulch if I have a choice. But if they turn blue, on the little branch. Oh, yes. Thank you. Sorry. Are they blue? What do you think? They kind of look like they have a blue tinge to them, but that could be the light here. If I'm looking at it directly, see, it looks like, see that in the video, it looks like that's blue right there, but that's the light reflecting off of it. So I don't really think, let me see if I can, shade it. Anyway, they're kind of green and brown. I don't know. There is kind of this lighter color, Larry, on the inside. I guess maybe that is what's giving that reflective property. It's kind of in the middle of each needle. It is a lighter color that I would say either, it's hard to tell from the light, either a white or a light blue. Have you tried the River Buffet Grill in Charlotte, North Carolina? Not that I recall. See, I lived in Charlotte a bunch of years. I don't recall going to the River Buffet and Grill. That was when I was a bit younger and we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together back then. So we were eating a lot of McDonald's and places with coupons and CC's Pizza and stuff. But that sounds really good. Is it on a river down there? That would be interesting to know about that. We usually come to Asheville around July 4th and at Christmas time. Yeah. Well, so Big Daddy, we've gone at least 2 of the 3 years, I think. Maybe all 3 years. I can't remember last year. Downtown Asheville for July 4th. It's pretty cool to see the fireworks. Although it's cool to see the fireworks, but from the angle we're always at, it seems like it's behind a tree or whatever. So I don't know, not getting the best vantage point. I got to get a little bit better. It's time to retire the branch. I can't do it because it's hilarious to me to keep showing this on the live stream. And yes, that's real, because if you see right here, it's hard to see. These are the needles that keep falling off. So anyway, it's a reminder of Mount Mitchell. I'll have to get a new one. Yeah, they do look kind of blue. I was trying to see a little bit closer there. Let's see. Yes, so glad to be on Eastern time now. Let me roll to the next story. This is one I said earlier for Jennifer Rathbone, who was here, Jenny Rathbone, a Canton comeback. I know you said Waynesville, but it's kind of over in Western North Carolina. A Canton comeback, Smathers Farm and Public Market debut. That's kind of a cool picture of downtown Canton there. I think that's downtown Canton. We're 1923, maybe, or maybe that's a different area, but the Smathers store. But anyway, listen to this story. It's just kind of cool, these little Western North Carolina towns. Farmers markets are popping up all throughout the state now that spring has officially sprung for Canton. Again, Canton is about 20 minutes west of Asheville. Springtime hasn't meant the opening of a farmer's market for some time. The city hasn't had one for the last several years, but changes this year. Kelly Lovejoy is one of Smathers Farmers and Public Market's first ever vendors. She and her husband decided to move to the mountains 6 years ago after spending more than 20 years in Columbia, South Carolina. We're looking for something with 4 seasons. I love it up here. The weather's gorgeous. It's conducive to so much gardening. She said Canton is a little bit of heaven for her. On her farm, far-flung farm, she raises chickens and turkeys. She grows personal herbs, vegetables, fruits, and flowers. We have dahlias, celosia, lavender, snapdragons. It's a lot of work maintaining the farm. When her and her husband retired, they took on the farm in the full time, and they love it. I don't know if that's retirement if you take on a farm. That's crazy. There's something going on every day at the farm. She said she's leaving the farm, or leaving the farm is hard to do with everything she needs right here in her yard. But she's an active in local gardening clubs and spends a lot of time volunteering, and she's involved in the new farmers market. We are thrilled to be at the market and to have the market here in Canton. They hadn't had a market since she's moved there. It's been years since the last one failed. This is Pat's vision, and it's to liven up downtown Canton again and make this an event. He wants this to be an event where the whole community is involved. It's a community that gave 7th generation Pat Smathers the idea to start the market. His goal is to revitalize the city and help Canton make a comeback. This is a part I like. People who've been through there would know. Canton, it's often just referred to as, quote unquote, the stinky paper mill town. But to Smathers, it's so much more than just that. It's where he was raised and several generations of his family live. If you ever drive through Canton, even in the car, you'll smell the paper mill, and it has a stinky smell. A lot of farmers markets are nonprofit organizations, and this is not a nonprofit organization, we're going to do it from a private enterprise aspect with the goal of making it very much a community-minded market. The market will be downtown in Smathers Square at what used to be Smathers Supermarket decades ago, a grocery store owned by Smathers' father and uncle. It's people like Lovejoy and several other vendors that are helping make this thing happen. She'll sell her herbs, flowers, fresh farm eggs, fruits, and veggies. To be a part of this is huge. The market has partnered up with nonprofit organizations to help bring leftover food from the market to the tables of families in need. Another bonus. Canton Smathers Farmer and Public Market kicks off Thursday, May 27th. Nothing like a good farmer's market. Oftentimes they're open on Saturday mornings in a lot of towns that have them. Down in Hendersonville, which is south of Asheville, they have a farmer's market that opened up. My wife, I think, was at recently and said it was fantastic. I mean, you take $20 there and you get everything you need. And so this is pretty cool. I don't know if I would drive all the way over to Canton to see the farmer's market, but I thought because we have some a little closer to town, but you never know. Maybe I'm on a motorcycle ride one day or something and happen to see it. Pick up a fresh apple or orange or strawberry or something like that and eat it as I see it. Let's see here. Catching up. This is a great comment. Have you ever seen any videos about extreme eating? I was at the buffet 2 years ago and there was a woman in there that ate at least 15 plates of food. I'm going to go on a tangent for a second before I get back to the farmer's market. Rita, that was Mr. Mountain Man, me yesterday at Dollywood at Aunt Granny's. I ate too much. And I told my wife later, I said, I got to stop that. I'm being serious. I know I'm into bodybuilding and I'm a big guy and I like to eat, but I can't binge eat like that. I ate a lot of food and there were 2 extra desserts on the table. So I ate 3 desserts, 6 pieces of roast beef, a ton of macaroni and cheese and bread and carrots and all this stuff, but it wasn't a healthy portion. It was way out of control. And sometimes I eat too much. So it's not all the time. It's like when I go out to a place that I really enjoy, especially a buffet. And so, but as far as YouTube and stuff like that, I've seen one guy called the LA Beast, and he is a competitive eater and has eaten crazy amounts of stuff. I think on one thing he ate, I don't know, something 60 Burger King burgers or something. And a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy. There's a lot of stuff about competitive eating, but I need to back off because I'm not in a competitive eating contest. And so, I need to behave a little bit more about that when I go to those places. Love Waynesville, Maggie Valley. There are a lot of the reason why we moved to Tennessee in the first place. Just a beautiful area. Waynesville is gorgeous. You talk about being in the thick of the mountains. You look at a map, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, if you look on a map and if you feel the geography or the topology of the land and where the mountains are, it's kind of a thin range that goes, down the coast or down, the United States. And as quick as you get into the mountains, you get back out. If you're driving across I-40, once you get past a few of those exits for Gatlinburg, you're basically back to flat, hilly land out of the mountains again, going towards Knoxville. And the same thing with going east. If you go on the other side of Asheville and through the mountains and past Black Mountain, all of a sudden you'll come down a big mountain and you're back in what they call the foothills. But Waynesville is right smack dab in the thick of the mountains. Just a beautiful area to see. Did I miss? Oh, Coaster Mom. Hey, Coaster Mom. And love the avatar as always. Again, didn't you tell me that was Lightning Rod or you said that was another one? I'm trying to look there. Sorry, the reason I'm putting my face close is trying to look at that. You told me before and I apologize. I forgot. I went to the farmer's market once in Asheville. It was pretty nice. Yes, and I haven't been to the one in Asheville. We talked about Hendersonville and this one in Canton, but I have to check out. I'm sure Asheville has probably a wonderful one. Sounds like my dad would take us to Duff's. Yeah, when 13 or 14. That's another one. Like we had Duff's down when I lived in Central Florida. There was one down there, and we had Duff's and of course Golden Corral and all these. I mean, I just I don't behave. Like yeah. Hey, boys of interest, stopping in to say hi, Mr. Mountain Man. Everyone in the chat. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. And tell the traveling Hoosier we said howdy, hello. Great to have you here. The paper mills do smell badly. Yeah, they do. I mean, every time I either ride or drive through Canton, you'll smell it. It's pretty cool. It's like it's reminiscent of an old, town. I remember my grandfather lived in Erie, Pennsylvania, and they had paper mills and a lot of old manufacturing and like the GE plant and a lot of other stuff up there. So it reminds me of some of those towns in the Midwest, that, Canton's kind of a throwback, it looks like. Internet is not the best here, Mary. So I'm limited with YouTube till I can get hooked up to Starlink. I put my money in for Starlink, but they haven't sent it out yet. So as they keep launching satellites, who knows? And then you'll never have to worry about me being not clear. Canton has some good views and vistas. They sure do. They sure do. Coaster Mom says they sure do. We live near one. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's just talking about how beautiful it is over there. Let's see. Sorry, I hope I'm not missing. I'm just scrolling slowly because lactose intolerant has really slowed me down on my overeating. Being lactose intolerant has really slowed me down. Yeah, it's not. That's the other thing. Like, I mean, one's constitution as you get older, you eat like that and you pay a penalty. It's not like being 22 years old, so you have to, everybody has to be careful. The woman weighed 120. She makes videos doing this. There are several people that do this. That's even crazier because physically, just the science behind having enough physical room to hold that much food, I guess there just must be stomach expansion. Satellite's the only option in my subdivision. Vistas are Hughes. Yeah. I mean, at least I do have internet. It's just not that great. Yes, Starlink. Yeah, hopefully later this year. Hey, I appreciate that, Blondie, for the thumbs up mentioned right there. You get my thumbs up. Some people that live near here never get used to the smell of the paper mill. The smells never bothered me. Yeah, and I agree, Jennifer, that probably over time people would get accustomed to that smell. And it's a little foul when you first smell it, but I remember one time I went to the post office there, which is really just not far from the paper mill. In fact, I put a picture on Instagram last fall. I think it was on my way out to was it on the way out to Tail of the Dragon? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I took a picture of the paper mill. But yeah, you just get there for a few minutes and it kind of goes away. It's not that bad. Yeah. Clear tonight outside. Okay, yeah. Well, it's been raining, I think, there. So yeah, anyway, that's the farmers market there. I think it looks pretty cool. So those of you that are a little closer might want to check that out and support old what was her name? Was it Lovejoy? Yeah, that was her last name. Kelly Lovejoy. I think that's the lady that's pictured right there, and she'll be doing her over there at the Smathers market. So that's pretty cool. Next up, 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina forecast. As you know, we're already through Monday. Tuesday, look at those lows again. 48, 42, 44, 47, 48, 52. We're going to have some crisp, cool mountain nights. And even the high on Wednesday is only 60 degrees, but that's not bad. It's not like it's down to the 50s or anything like that. And looks like we'll get a little rain the first part of the week. And then the weekend looks pretty good right there. So that's good to know if that holds true. So there you have it, folks. That is the news and notes for the week of May the 10th, 2021. Let me know if you have any additional comments on that. And I am bringing myself back in focus here. Yes. Okay, Blondies. Yes. Have a blessed night. You as well. Thank you for stopping by. No 30s for me. That's right. So I guess if we're in the 40s here, you go all the way up to upper Ohio, you are probably in the you got to be in the 30s. Are you even in the 20s? Are you guys below freezing? I know you talked about the snow a little bit. And also, by the way, Larry, I forgot what you said. You were talking about Cedar Point. Speaking of theme parks, do you do the Platinum Pass for Cedar Fair Entertainment? Or I think you had mentioned you don't do the roller coaster anymore, but a lot of these theme parks, you don't have to ride I forgot to mention that yesterday. Speaking of not riding rides, yesterday at Dollywood, the whole day I was there, I only rode 2 rides yesterday. I rode the bumper cars and I rode Dragon Flyer in the very back seat. That's crazy because you get all yanked around when you're in the back seat. That was nuts. But which is kind of crazy. And then the wind happened and everything closed down. Oh, and then I guess I rode the buffet Aunt Granny's all the way to a painful stomach. So that's what I did yesterday. Good gosh, it's going to be 86 here tomorrow. Yeah, that's like the Florida stuff. Daughter graduates from college on Sunday. Well, congratulations to your daughter. I'll tell you what, education is priceless. It really is. It's a fantastic thing. And so I wish your daughter congratulations and all the success. Staying right above freezing where you are. Okay, good. So you don't hopefully kill all the plants and stuff. We used to do the Platinum Passes. Now the kids are grown and we don't get them anymore. Yeah. Because sometimes I wonder, and I haven't been to Cedar Point in years, if just the leisurely stroll, maybe some of the gentler rides, the park food and stuff like that, and maybe a trip every once in a while down to Kings Island or something like that would be kind of cool. Yes, absolutely. Way to go. I saw where a cruise line is thinking about pulling out of the States because the CDC says you have to wear a mask even when you move the mask to eat a bite and then lift it back up. Crazy. Wow. I know that the cruise lines are struggling a bit right now. But one of the things is that, what is it? And you may have seen more, Rita, most of them are based out of like the Bahamas, like the ships, so that they don't have to follow the rules. But the problem is they can't come into port in the United States unless they follow CDC rules. So that really limits where they can pick up people, because you'd have to be in a port in the Bahamas, one of the private islands like Disney has, Castaway Key or whatever, or maybe Puerto Rico, although Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth, so being under the umbrella of the United States, I'm not sure what the CDC rules are, but cruises are having a rough go of it right now because it's like a big petri dish. So, cruises are, even before, the pandemic, if they, somebody got the stomach bug or something and it got passed around, you'd hear these stories about the whole cruise having, issues. If you start seeing any shortage of gas out there, Mr. Carlos, welcome to the live stream. Right before we finish it up, I just noticed it's 10:45. I'll probably wrap it up here in a few minutes. It was in my news and notes tonight. The first story about it, the governor issued a state of emergency, but we did talk about it. It'll probably and hopefully be a momentary blip on the delivery. It has nothing to do about, like the actual sourced product, issues. And, another thing I was going to say about that, this is why so often people are, talking a lot about, lesser energy reliance on, oil, because of, these types of situations. I guess if you had a Tesla right now, it wouldn't really matter. You can always plug it in. We did talk about that, and I had an article. So if you're interested in that, when the video is done, you should be able to go back and check that out. Always good having you here, and hope you have a nice start to your week and a nice Monday. Loved having the Platinum Passes. They gave us something to do half the year. Yeah, and at the price point, they seem really reasonable, and you get the 20% off the food. So, if you're walking around the park and, and just kind of the atmosphere, I guess it's just trying to figure out if there's any rides that are worth it, to go on. I did see that Henry Ford video a while back as well. That was a good one. And your daughter's going to be a school teacher. That's that's really super cool. Again, congratulations to her. Ruby and I enjoy going to Dollywood and just watch the shows and walk around sometimes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing that for the focus. We have not been to a lot of the shows yet at Dollywood, so that's one of the things that we're still looking forward to. But like yesterday, like I mentioned, I only went on a couple of rides, and I still really enjoyed it. Hey, Camping Therapy! I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. You should check out the Village there. It's pretty interesting. Also, what was that in reference to? Maybe the Henry Ford. I must have taken that one out of context. Cruise ships are mostly Panama register. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Anywhere that they don't have to, so they don't have to, the taxes and the regulations and everything that they can do. Yes, they would have to board at the islands. I also saw an interesting documentary recently about all the people on the cruise line that they needed to get back to their home place, which is all over the world, India, Philippines, Australia, and all over. When they finally figured out that the CDC was so restrictive they couldn't cruise, the cruise lines ended up taking a bunch of cruise ships, sailing across the sea to all these different ports of call to take all their staff back that they had basically furloughed or let go. So it was kind of crazy. You could probably find that on YouTube as well. I'm sorry that this focus thing bugs the heck out of me. This camera is super sensitive. If I like make a gesture or something like that, so what I do is I put my hand in front and then hopefully it just drives me crazy. Come on. Oh, well, we're almost at the end of it anyway. My mom lives in Burnsville and they're out. I'm just over the line, Tennessee, and we have plenty. I filled up. Oh, good. Then you don't have any problems. Yeah. At least people can't hoard gas like they did toilet paper. And that's what I was talking about, Dr. J, earlier. I was talking about toilet paper. It says a page out of the craziness from last year. It only takes a few people on Facebook to be like, hey, we're running out of gas. And all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, Aunt Susie said we're running out of gas. I'm going to get gas. It just snowballs. We're in the age of social media and, the panic ensued of craziness. We always got a food thing added to it for the Cedar Point. So we ate twice the time we went for free. We paid another $60 for that, but that's really nothing. Yeah. If Dollywood had that, I think we would add that. But the 20% off is really nice with the Gold Pass. And, we got the soda, the pop cups that have the free refills all year. And so it's been pretty good. I've had a tremendous experience so far. Oh, about the Henry Ford. Okay. Talking about the Village. Okay. Yes. The old Village of Henry Ford, Deerfield Village or something like that. Really cool as Model T's driving around. Have a good night, Sexy Matt. Yes. Great live stream as always. So much interesting conversation. Best live stream out there. I appreciate that, Rita. That's super kind words. I'm just glad that, folks are having a good time here on Monday night. I think with that, it's 10:50. I've been on for about $1.42 here. Just thought it was my eyes. Yep. And so I think it's a good time to call it a night. Coaster Mom says good night. And welcome again to everybody who joined late. Feel free to go back and watch the live stream. I hope you enjoy it. The folks joining in here, a lot of good folks in here tonight. Another great week. I promise, Rita, I'm going to get to the videos just as soon as I can. I honestly cringe coming each Monday night knowing that I haven't produced something new. And I do apologize to community on that. Please be on the lookout on the Eclectic Candyman. If you, again, as I always joke, tongue in cheek, if people want to hear my voice, because that side of the fence does have some stuff, but I will get to something. So yes, good night. Great chatting. Y'all have a great night. A great live stream. Appreciate it. Have a safe week. We'll see you back here next Monday. Absolutely. To everybody. Thank you. Kenneth Oakes, Camping Therapy, Foxy, Mr. Carlos, Larry, Rita, Matt, Jennifer Rathbone, Dr. J, Blondie's Adventure, Hope Faith, everybody. If I missed anybody, thank you for stopping by. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week, a safe week, and we will see you next time here on the Mountain Man Monday live stream. Good night, everyone, and take care.